Good evening, everyone. This is a Soft Skills Masterclass for students. My name is Abiola Awokiyesi. I'm a soft skill instructor at Mindklass. As an introduction to today's topic, we'll be looking at the life of the man who is known as Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie happened to be one of the richest men in the United States of America years behind. A source of wealth raised concern among majority of the Americans, including the US Senate. So they decided to invite him for an investigation. They checked him from all angles. When they found that there was nothing wrong with the source of wealth, they eventually asked him, how did you manage to make so much money and become successful so fast? And Andrew replied, he said, I can keep my mind focused on something for 5 minutes at a stretch. That was the reply of Andrew Carnegie. And that's why we're looking at the topic this evening, focus strategy. Focus strategy. By the end of today's course, we trust students will be able to understand what is the meaning of focus, the importance of being focused, hindrances to being focused, ways to improve their focus, how to be more focused to achieve great results. The word for today is the future favors the focused. The future favors the focused. As a definition, focus is the ability to pay undivided attention to something for a particular period of time. Undivided attention. In the case of Andrew Carnegie, he said he has the ability, he has masterminded, he has disciplined his mind to the extent that he could pay undivided attention to something, to an activity in his business for 5 minutes at a stretch. So as a student, the question that you could be asked is that, can you pay attention while you are studying for at least 5 minutes without thinking about Facebook, without thinking about food, without allowing intrusive thoughts to interfere with what you are doing in the present? And that's why this course is very important, to learn how to discipline our mind, to stay focused in our studies, to stay focused in our family, to stay focused in the attainment of our goal, to stay focused in our business. Why are we learning focus strategy? Number one, it has been found in studies that an average human being has around 50,000 thoughts hovering around their mind in a day. A majority of these thoughts are from past experiences. They are often negative. They are intrusive. They are thoughts that hinder focus. They are thoughts that are often against the progress of one. So the second point is because majority are often led by the monkey mind. The monkey mind is a mind which is often restless. It's a mind that seeks pleasure. It's a mind that is often negative, unorganized, indisciplined, and intrusive. Why very few are led by the mastery mind? The mastery mind is the organized mind. It is the kind of business mind. It is a mind that has been taught to be controlled, to be brought under control. It is the educated mind. It is the mind that is rational, that is disciplined, that is often positive, optimistic, composed, collaborative. It is the kind of mind that has been trained, that has been educated to be able to ensure that we make the most out of it. That is why we are learning focus strategy today. Also, we carried out the research in the year 2019, and we discovered certain problems that students are facing in their study, which are related to focus, which are factors which were found that hinders focus. Number one is that students say that they are having problem with retention. This is related with a focus. Number two is peer influence. We found that students lack the ability to stay focused without allowing their friends to influence them, either on the social media or offline. We also found that students made mention of social media and technology are also a very key hindrance to helping them to become their best, to helping them to maximize their life results. Also, we found that students mentioned that they have found themselves in the wrong department. This is also related to a focus. And lastly, students say that they are not doing well in their study because of the sexual relationship that they got themselves involved in. So that means sexual relationship can hinder focus because emotion is very powerful. Emotions that is engaged wrongly will hinder the results of an individual. So what are the importance of focus? You're looking at the life of the young man, Michio Kaku. We learned in the last class that Michio Kaku, when he was just 8, he was privileged to appear before the TV that was announcing the death of Albert Einstein and his unfinished work. And Michio Kaku made a focused decision to finish the unfinished work of Albert Einstein. So he embarked on this work by going to the library initially to find what is really the unfinished work of Albert Einstein. And he discovered that it was the theory of everything. So Professor Michio Kaku grew to become Professor Michio Kaku in the same field of Albert Einstein. So he eventually became a theoretical physicist in the same field as Albert Einstein. The second person we are looking at is a man who is known as Professor Wole Soyinka. This man has been a focused Nigerian novelist, writer, essayist, a well-respected man, not just in Africa, but in the world globally, because he is a focused man. You will never hear Professor Wole Soyinka announcing a vision for political position or indulging in things that are not in line with his field. So as a student, you need to identify a field that you are going to stay focused in to ensure that you develop the mastery mind in that area or aspect of life. What are the other importance of focus strategy? Number one is that it helps to develop number 6. Number 6 is usually referred to as the sixth sense, which is a sense that helps to coordinate the other 5 senses. It is the sense that is the kind of the mastery mind that helps to awaken, ignite your creativity and intelligence. So when you have learned and master the focus strategy, it helps you to become more creative. It helps you to become more intelligent, such that whenever you are asked a question, you don't have to think so long before you give an answer, because that idea, because you have mastered, you have trained your mind to become a master in that field or in that area of business, in that area of subject, or in that area of endeavor. Another point is that it helps you to be an organized person. Majority of students don't have these organized thoughts. They find it hard to put their mind or their thoughts in an organized manner. That's why you see them, they are often disorganized. So another point is that it helps you to give control over your mind and your thoughts. Those who don't have control over their mind and their thoughts, they often suffer, challenges like depression. They suffer academic failure, because when they sit before their book and they want to read, they often suffer from wandering thoughts, wandering mind, wandering awareness, because they lack the control over their mind, over their thoughts. Another point is that it helps to develop self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to know your thoughts, to read in between the lines of the thoughts that is in your mind, to be able to know the kind of thoughts that you should accept or you should reject. That is self-awareness. It is the ability to accept the right thoughts and to fire out the wrong thoughts. Another point, it helps you to improve your listening skills. As a student who has masterminded the art of focus, you have the ability to learn more. You are open to learning. You can achieve almost 100% of what you might be taught in a class. because you have developed a listening skills. Another point is that it helps you to improve your life results. When you have focused mindsets, it improves your life results. Just like Andrew Carnegie said, he became so successful and he attributed his success to his ability to stay focused. So how can you, as a student, develop focus strategy? Number one is that you need to understand how the mind and awareness works. How does the mind and awareness work? The mind can be referred to as a room or an apartment with different purposes. It can be referred to a large room where there are different apartments, different rooms for different purposes. So you can have a room, a large room. You can have a room where you think about your friends in the same mind. You can have another room where it has to do with your exams. Possibly you are thinking about how you are going to prepare for your examination. That can be an aspect of your mind. Another point can be finance. It might be that you are thinking how you are going to meet your need, how you are going to pay for your hostel or your house rent or your medical finances, or to balance up your school fee. The other aspect can be about media. Possibly you post some content on the media and you're expecting a number of likes. You are expecting likes, shares from your friends. Another aspect of your mind, don't forget we talk about different rooms for different purposes, can be about your family. It can be that you are thinking about when you should go home because it has been a long time now that you have gone home for break and so on. But in this room, awareness has to do with an area where the light, awareness can be likened to a bulb light. And that bulb light has the ability to fly around or over around different area or aspect of your mind. So when your awareness in form of the bulb flies and abide in the media aspect of your mind, it brings the thoughts in that area, it brings it to life. For example, you can be in a classroom where you are receiving a lecture that is not very interesting to you, and because of your mind is in a place or an apartment which you are not very interested in, your mind can move into a different, your awareness rather, can move into a different aspect of your mind, which can be the media. If you see the bulb is actually, it's lit in the media apartment of your mind. So you might be thinking about Facebook. You could be thinking about the post that you put on Facebook. It could be something like your birthday picture. And you have been expecting up to like 50 likes, 100 likes, but you only had 5 likes. And that is bringing about a kind of worry, a kind of sadness upon you. So that awareness being in the media aspect of your mind, that is what you will be conscious of. That is what you'll be thinking about. That is what you will be thinking at that moment. That is the difference between the mind and awareness. Now, the point here is that for you to make the most of the classroom, don't forget we said you are in a class. That is where you are presently. But your awareness is in the post you put on Facebook that is not drawing, that is not bringing about the expected traffic. So for you to make the most of that class, you will need to always bring your awareness back to the class. And it takes practice. You need to practice the ability to always bring your awareness to wherever you want it to be. Because if you allow your awareness to always fly around, you are with your friends and you are discussing about something important, you are making business discussion. But your mind is always taking you back to your family, to your fiance, or to your girlfriend, or to mommy, or to dad. For you to make the most, for you to benefit maximally from the discussion that you're having with your friend, you will always learn to take your mind away from a family, from your wife, or from your girlfriend, or from your spouse, to where you and your friends are. Else, you will always be suffering from a wandering thought or a wandering awareness. Another point here is that you need to approach each day or week, or month, or year purposefully. When we are talking about approaching a day purposefully, we are looking at the fact that you need to identify your reason for existing in that day. You need to identify the kind of results that you expect. You need to identify the kind of vision that you want to accomplish for that day. Just like Abraham Lincoln, one of his purpose when he was the president of the United States of America was to put an end to the slavery, to the discrimination against the blacks in the United States of America when I was the president then. So as a student, you need to identify what is the ultimate goal that you want to accomplish in a day, today, tomorrow, in a week, in a month, in a year. Another point is that if you have a purpose, then you should have a goals. You should have set of goals rather. So the point here is that goals shows where you are going. So that means that if you don't set goals, if you have a goal for the day, if you don't have a goal for the month or for the year, it shows that you are going nowhere. So goals are pointers to where you are going. Goals shows where those who set it, where they are going in life. So if you are going nowhere, you need not set a goals. So if you have a goal, you should have an action plan. Action plans helps you to prevent procrastination. It helps you to limit and manage time effectively. It helps you to stay disciplined regarding time. It helps you to ensure that you are not stuck in a problem. And when you are stuck in a problem, you are able to identify and improve upon it. So you will need to have an action plan. You will need to have a start. You need to have an end. You need to have a deadline. You will need to have a priority. As regarding your action plan, you need to have your posteriority. Your posteriorities are those things which are not so much important, and priorities are those which are very important, which are very imminent for you to accomplish as a student. Another point here is that you need to practice. Practice is very crucial when it comes to mastering focus strategy. If you don't practice, you will not become a master at being a focused person. There's a study carried out in the book of Malcolm Gladwell. It outlines the story of success. Malcolm Gladwell made mention of 10,000 hour rule. And by 10,000 hour rule, it said for anyone to master an art, to master a skill, to master a craft, they will have to engage in a practice of at least 10,000 hours for that person to become an expert in that field. 10,000 hours. So for a student to learn the ability to stay focused in the world where technology rules, where many serve their technology, you will need to learn to practice the ability, as we mentioned, to always bring the awareness to wherever you should be. So whenever you're in a class, be there. Whenever you are in a meeting, be there. Whenever you are with your friends, be there. Whenever you are on the beach, be there. Don't go to work when you are at the beach. This is very important. And if you don't master concentration, you will master distraction. Number 6 is that you need to learn to say no. No to friends who are often intrusive. No to technological distractions that will always hinder you from making the most of each day. You will need to learn to say no to avoid information overload. When you go to Facebook, Instagram, when you go to Twitter, so all these social media platforms can always bring about information overload to your mind. It can always hinder your progress in life. So as a student, you need to learn to say no to distraction, to the noise around you, to ensure that you do not entertain distraction. This is very crucial. And remember, your life is controlled by what you focus on. That is a word of Tony Robbins. And don't forget the word for today is the future favors the focused. The future favors the focused. As a conclusion, on the story of Andrew Carnegie that we learned from the introductory story, it was said that Andrew Carnegie became so successful that the source of wealth raised concern among many Americans, including the US Senate, and they decided to invite him for interrogation. So when they interrogated him and they found that there was nothing wrong or fishy about his source of wealth, they eventually asked him, how did you manage to make so much money and become successful so fast? And Andrew Carnegie replied, I can keep my mind focused on something for 5 minutes at a stretch. Just 5 minutes. And they thought he was joking. Then he asked them, can any of you do it? Surprisingly, every one of them thought they could do it. But when they started the experiment, surprisingly, none of them could focus their mind, not even on few seconds, not even for few seconds, on anything. This is the very nature of the mind, the undisciplined mind, the uneducated mind. The mind that is not trained is often restless. Thank you very much. The discussion for this evening is Ben has been complaining that he is unable to focus and keep his desired thoughts academically in his mind for a long period of time. So as a person who has gone through the focus strategy class, how would you advise Ben to overcome this challenge? You can send your comments, your answer, your contribution to the WhatsApp platform on our website. So thank you very much for being a part of today's class. If you have any question, kindly send it to the WhatsApp platform. So thank you for being a part of today's class. We appreciate all that made it, all that are present. Thank you all, and have a splendid weekend. Thank you.